All right, welcome back. We continue live right here at Pittsburgh CW. It's the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. We are brought to you by Bordas & Bordas. That's the hotline number. You see it on your screen at 412-575-2600. So let's get right to it, and we'll begin with John in Green Tree. John, welcome. You're first.
Hey, what's up, guy? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Go ahead.
Yes. Do you think the Pirates are going to meet Milwaukee tomorrow? And do you think the Steelers can beat the Falcons on Sunday?
I mean, you can win any time. The Pirates can go in there and win, yes. The Brewers owe them something, however. The last time they played, it was Pittsburgh sweeping Milwaukee 4 games here, and that sort of was part of a 12-2 run, I think, Gene, that had a lot of people thinking, okay, the Pirates are right back in this, and then they proceed to give ground back after that. So that's why I think this is a difficult assignment. I haven't seen any indication. If you do the numbers, if Chicago ends up basically at 500 the rest of the way, which they won't, they'll be over that. The Pirates are going to have to go 30-14 in their last 4, or something better than that. And I don't know if that's possible.
I know we keep talking about it like it's going to happen, but it's not. Are they going to beat the Brewers tomorrow night? Yeah, maybe. And are the Steelers going to beat the Falcons? Maybe. That's why we watch them, right, Bob?
That's why. Some things concern me about that Toronto series. A couple of plays by Starling Marte for a guy who missed.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah, for a guy who missed as much time as he did on a selfish thing like taking PEDs, which cost your team, gave your team no chance, really, and all of a sudden to see him lollygag down the line, which he has a habit of doing. See, at some point, if I'm Clint Hurdle, I got to take action against that. I can't allow that to happen, given what he did to this team already.
Well, Hurdle wasn't there, but
well,
Tom
you know
Prince
should have. I've seen it before.
Oh, I've seen it before too. No, Tom Prince should have pulled him out of that game. He cost him a base runner there. They're having a hard time getting base runners. All he's done since he's back is cost him a game by letting a ball fall next to him in left field, costing him run. He's a disgrace.
You want to trade him? I heard that.
I wanted to
right?
trade
You wrote a column about it.
Hey, nobody listens to me, Bob.
Let's go to Rich in Greensburg. Rich, welcome to the Sports Call.
Hey, guys. Hey, Bob. Hey, Gene.
Hey.
More of a question than anything. We heard earlier this year when Marte got suspended and Gunn probably wasn't coming back. I heard Neil Huntington, and you guys say he said it too, numerous times that extra money that they would save, it would be money that they would reinvest at some point this year to try to make the team better. But then you always hear the deal wasn't right. But so many of these outfielders, especially that got moved before the deadline, got moved for almost nothing. Single-A prospect, a double-A prospect. I mean, what is the deal with this team? I mean, I've supported them for 20 years before they won again, when they were terrible. And I don't get what management is trying to do. I mean, you knew Polanco's been hurt basically all year. Hamstrings are one of the hardest things to recover from. How did you not go get some depth, especially for some low-level prospects,
right,
when you had the extra money that you told the fans that you were going to spend because you didn't?
You're absolutely right. And thanks for the call, Rich. Gene, they talked about financial flexibility, which is the buzzword. But when you see what Cleveland gave up for Jay Bruce, as an example, first of all, you got to pay for what's left of his deal. Now, maybe that's something they don't want to do, but if you're in a pennant race, don't you owe it to try to everything you can?
Well, the Jay Bruce thing looks worse and worse, and of course, they didn't have the information on what the next date on which Gregory Polanco was going to pull his hamstring, so they didn't pull that trigger, but they should have. He would have helped them in the outfield. Basically, the Pirates have a really inflated opinion of this outfield. I like Andrew McCutchen. He's a very good player, but he's not a great player. Polanco has really never done anything in the big leagues. Marte is a way overrated outfielder who is not helping them. And if you read national publications, you'll see sometimes this outfield referred to as the best outfield in baseball. That's a crock, and the Pirates seem to believe it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a lot of hype that they haven't lived up to collectively, and if that's how you're going to base your team, then you need to get production from all of those guys, and they don't. One guy who's producing a lot is Giancarlo Stanton. Hit another home run tonight, 10 in the month of August. It's 20 in 34 games. He has 43, so that leads to the question, is the ball juiced, or is he just that good?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that discussion comes and goes. I mean, he's obviously a legitimate home run hitter, a tremendously powerful game. How many games in a row has he homered, Bob? Do you know that? The record is what?
Yeah, I don't know what, but it's 10 in the month of August. What is today? August what?
August 14th.
Okay, so we're 14 days into the month. He already has 10.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And so he's 43, and I don't know why anyone bothers to pitch to him. On that team, there are guys you can, you don't have to pitch to him and pitch to somebody else, but they continue to do it, and he continues to hit. When he hits them, too, he gets his money's worth. All right, let's go out to line 4. That's Greg in Finleyville. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Good, thanks for calling.
Good. I just have a couple statements to make about the Pirates. Do you think possibly with Elias Diaz coming up that might provide some pop to the lineup a little bit? And also, do you think it's maybe time to bring Stephen Brault up also, kind of give Nova a rest since he's been struggling so mightily lately?
I don't think any of those options make me think differently about their team. You know, Stephen Brault was up here a little bit down. All these guys, to me, are kind of interchangeable parts, Gene. That's how I look at them. I don't see anyone who stands above. And, you know, again, waiting on glass now. Tyone has been probably the one guy who has at least shown you what he can do on a consistent basis, even though he's been erratic. But he's had a tough start with the, you know, cancer thing that he had to go through. But I don't know how you look at it. I look at their prospect system, and I don't see much down there right now, even though, again, it is hyped to be one of the better, you know, feeder systems.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Well, Nick Kingham is starting to pitch a little bit.
Yes, he is.
You know, but other than that, I don't see much going on. Meadows has had a really kind of disastrous year injury-wise. But, you know, these questions about Brault and Elias Diaz, this is a, you know, an illustration of the fan base that has been conditioned to think just like management thinks. Well, what if we bring this guy up or that guy up? The secret is to go out and get somebody to improve your team, and they're not doing it.
A couple of tweets in. David Palladino on Twitter at KDPomp at Gene Collier says, if anyone in the Pirates had the mentality of Gene Collier, this would be a winning club. Go, Gene, go. That's from David. And we have Mark Schwartz who says Nutting doesn't believe they're in the race, and that's why he won't do anything. Let's go out to Bill in New Brighton. Bill, you're on the Sports Call presented by Allegheny Health Network.
Yeah, when they wanted to...
Go ahead.
Was that just, were you just sighing, or what were you doing there, Bill?
Go ahead, Bill.
You ready?
I don't know. Hey, when the Pirates wanted that stadium built, they said they'd field a good team, and they have not yet.
Well, no, that's not true. They did eventually. They got wild card bursts out of them, but you know,
for 2 years.
Generally
right?
speaking, you're right.
Yeah. So what are they doing now? Nothing.
Well, I mean, you know, the thing that's most disappointing to me, Gene, is that this division was there for the taking this year. This was not a case of the Cubs running away with anything. In fact, they're still not running away with anything.
Yeah,
they are in it, and they've invited everyone else to be in it and said, hey, we're not going to run away. You want to hang around? You want to play ball? Let's play ball. But no one seems to want to play ball with them. St. Louis has started to respond, and I expected them to be better than what they were, and they are. But I don't see Milwaukee as serious. I don't see the Pirates as serious at this point. And maybe both of those teams could have done a little bit more to try to be in this race. You know, and I think the Pirates, you can make a case they would have been a lot closer to the top had they made some moves earlier in this offseason and at or before the trade deadline.
Well, you're right, because next year, you know, the Pirates could be 30% better, and so could the Cardinals and Cubs. You'd be in the same situation. So this was a good opportunity for them, and they didn't do anything with it.
Cal Hammer tweets us and says Stanton has home runs in 5 in a row, 20 in the last 34. So there's your update. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. We got Tom, we got Dan, and we got Roy on the line. We have 2 lines open, so call it right now on the Borders and Borders hotline, 412-575-2600, right here on Pittsburgh's CW.